Good morning from a very mild, starting to warm up, still stress free, possibly rain, Peterborough. What have we got for you today? So there's a couple of segments from Kat regarding the fish's progress, water testing, what she's found during water testing before and after various events. So I'll leave that just to Kat. That will be segmented in this video. I've done some more pipe work on the upflow filter, which I'll show you just in a minute. In the meantime, I was watching Danny's koi pond. Really nice guy. He does fish food, so I'll get across to Danny's koi pond and have a look at that. But one thing I noticed was he was trying to draw water through an IBC, a big 1,000 litre vat, if you like, with a cage, and he was struggling to keep his media away from his inlet to his pump. So I initially was thinking, well, I'm going to have the same problem. How do I get around that? So this is a bit Heath Robinson. Promise not to laugh. Made this. So this is basically some stainless steel mesh, some pump guards, pump media guards, and this is sat on a 1.5 inch tank connector. This will either work or it won't. We shall see. So we'll get back to that. But anyway, I am still waiting for some parts to turn up to finish the upflow filter feed, but I'll just show you the return first, then we'll go inside the greenhouse and I'll show you what I've done inside there. It'll all become apparent when we get there. I'll follow you. So this is the return on the inside of the greenhouse. Comes through the wall into a 3-inch T-piece and will join the shower return out of here. Those people that are purists will be raging and getting really angry, but I've put the overflow to the water barrel into that 3-inch pipe, so just the overflow will go into the pipe. And on top of that, I've added, I'm just showing you the outside, but I've got a third pump, which will be the upflow filter cleaning air pump, and I've just added the auxiliary so I can run this in high temperatures. So sorry to the purists for putting the barrel overflow back into the pond, and by sorry I mean I'm not sorry. I'll follow you again. So this is where we are with the upflow. So this was the pipe and the return. That comes over the top, down into here. And then I've got the pump fitted, flow out. And this is the bit that I'm missing. So from here I have to connect into here. You might just be able to see the pencil circle, and I know we discussed it in the last video, but I don't think I've got any choice. I'm going to have to put the tank connector in there. The water level is up here somewhere, might even be higher, round about here. As you can see, this is below ground level for a start, and this is very, very tight. We're only talking maybe 7-inch to play with. I don't want to go any further that way because it'll obstruct the operation of the bottom drain shut-off valve, and this is a short gap between here and here, so no, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and put a 48mm hole in there, and I've just bought the hole saw from Wicks. This is the upflow cleaning pump, which will also be used for the auxiliary air in hot weather. Don't get put off too much by this. This is going to come the other way and down to this point, which will leave these readily accessible if I need to change them. I've just run out of elbows, so I need to come across here and down here and then another elbow, so a third elbow was sitting there. But I'm going to do that when I've got this full of water. So just waiting for that delivery, and then I can crack on with that. So that's looking nice and neat. Doesn't look like a toilet anymore, thankfully. So we'll leave that section there and hopefully get back to you when I've done a little bit more. Thank you.
Well, it's now 2 days later and the weather has decided it's rain today. Just going to give a quick update on the fish. We still haven't quite got things stable. A lot of the fish are looking better, so let's see if any of them come into view. What have we got? So we can see Bob, which is the Quiribecco, looking fairly healthy. That was looking quite red and veiny, and just behind it, completely gone, is the Kikakuru Clint, who we couldn't decide what to call, so it's the fish with no name. He's had a couple of spots that look a bit like carp pox again, but they seem to be fading. Now, they've all disappeared off down the other end. If I wait a minute, they might come back. Trouble with watching through a glass is that if they're below or too close to the glass, you can't actually see them. What else have we got? So we've got a what's she doing? And here comes the main patient. As you can see, still clamped. Although a bit of a sail up there, so but still looking very red under the armpits and sore. But he's now eating properly. Has been eating out of the hand for a couple of days, so behaviour is definitely improving. Gordon, again Matsuba, who's just going under the orange Clint. So sail up, wings out, is looking better, behaving more normally. It's not a fish to really interact with you this year. Did last year, but not this year. The fish were having a bit of a scratch yesterday. So we decided, given that we'd had the antibacterial in last Thursday, done a water test after to make sure that parameters weren't going off the scale because of killing off the bacteria in the filter. So we thought we'd better do another scratch just to make sure nitrite hadn't another scratch. Another water test yesterday, make sure nitrite had still going up. They were a little high, but they've actually eaten quite a lot of food yesterday and ammonia was 0. What we did find was the chlorine's gone up. So, not sure why. We haven't changed anything, we haven't changed our setup, we've not changed, as far as we know, the rate at which we're putting the water in to the pond or through the dechlorination system. If you remember, we've got chloramine, so we have no idea. So we did end up treating with a small amount of sodium thiosulfate yesterday. Haven't yet rechecked the water, and because of the rain, we're not actually been out to watch the fish that much to see if it's made much difference to their behaviour. And they're looking quite calm this morning so far from what we've seen. Had a look online. The only data for the amount of chlorine or chloramine that you can find is for the whole of last year aggregated. So it's not like hardness where it's updated much more often and it's live. So no clue there as to why, or if we've just saturated the activated charcoal in the big blue, which is going to prove quite expensive if that is the case, or we're going to end up using sodium thiosulfate. So I think at the moment we're just going to keep an eye on it. Anyway, so that's the update. The fish themselves are starting to get happier and eating quite a lot more, which is, to be honest, that's the main thing we're worried about. So I'll leave it there. So stay safe, everybody. Keep looking after yourselves. This thing hasn't gone away. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Okay, so as you can see, armpit just under the jaw. The other armpit, that looks so sore. And there's another patch a little bit more towards the tail as well. So, day 7 in the Soragoi household. Steve is getting a little bit distracted by a couple of patches going over, which is far more, if you can see them, that's far more exciting than the medical helicopter that's just gone over. Soragoi, back to the business in hand. So, still not quite right. It's still really red under its wings, red patches on its underside. So we put a little bit more air in the pond again, just to see if we can perk it up. And we've also decided that we'd try a salt bath. So there is the little darling. It's been in there a couple of minutes now. So we've got 4 gallons, because that's starting to get a bit lethargic though. So we might need to take it out shortly. It's got 4 gallons of water, so 12 ounces of salt. The aim is 10 minutes if we can. I'm not sure we'll get 10 minutes, but we shall see how it goes. Steve's still following the Apaches, but never mind. So it's back in the pond now, and sort of recovered from that quite quickly. Interestingly, it had its wings out while it was in the salt. Obviously it was a bit soothing, but you can see how sore it was, so we'll just keep an eye on that and do another antibacterial treatment later in the week as planned.
And as you've probably seen from the 10-second video that we put out a few days ago, the final bricks are in, and I am just so happy with that. So that's the completed pond now. No more bricks to come. And also set this brick framing. It's not ideal, but it doesn't look too bad. You do what you can with what you've got, really. So yeah, really happy with that. Big shame I couldn't go to Adam Byers at the weekend. Looks like it was a fantastic show. I hope everybody is happy with their purchases. I got pinged on the NHS COVID app, so I came out of isolation yesterday. That's for believers. For non-believers, don't really concern you. So yeah, glad you enjoyed yourself. Hopefully I'm going to try and get down to the show at Coventry, the PKKS, which is on the 14th and 15th. So fingers crossed. Anyway, take care. Bye. Right, final bit of the video. It's boiling hot. I've been in the greenhouse. Yes, I am that stupid. Yes, there was a lot of swearing. Yes, I had to use all this plus 4 buckets to get all the media out of the biological side. These are absolutely brilliant, just work so well. But with respect to what Dublin Koi went through, Ken dropping his in the sieve, the skimmer rather, I had a long length of rope and basically fastened it to the door handle of the greenhouse because I didn't want it to fall down into the bottom drain, and it didn't. One other thing, back to Danny's koi pond, he did come out with a phrase which was, I wish I hadn't started this. Halfway through this I was saying the same. I was ready to just pack it in and throw all my tools in the pond, but we got there. So let's have a look. I'll follow you. So that's what the return looks like now. That is a torrent. So we've got the upflow filter running. And there we have it. Just a little adjustment that needs to be done on the air supply. I've currently got it running through the dirty side, and I've also got a filtered side. So basically, as discussed in previous videos, I've created a standalone experimental filter position. So I've got clean water, dirty water, and a pump. That's 10,000, and that's currently running, just parked up there. It's so bright I can't even see what it's running at. I'll do that tonight. As you can see, the water is being pushed up. All the media has gone to the top, and it's flowing right over the top, back down the other side, and out into the T-piece. So you can actually see the fines and the bits and the rubbish all coming through, and hopefully, I'm not sure if you can see that, getting trapped under there. So what I'll do is I'll let that run for, well, as long as I deem fit, really. Maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe a week. We'll see how dirty it gets. I have got a sieve guard. This was an absolute pain, but inside I had to put that Heath Robinson guard on. Whether that's going to work or not, I don't know, but I have the option of, if this is on and this is off, and I find that the pump is straining because the K1 is getting pulled into the media guard, I'll simply turn that off, turn that on, and turn that on, and run the upflow filter. So we are there. Hell of a lot of swearing, some crying, some gnashing of teeth, but we're there, and I hope these blinking fish appreciate it. Cat saving lives today, so I'm my neighbour shouting. Poor lass, she's a young deaf girl. Her parents did the BSL video, so she's trying to learn how to say Steve, but cannot hear the word Steve. But we'll see how we go with that. So yeah, the Soragoi, the very final update, is eating, it's moving around, it's gingerly lifting the dorsal fins and the pectoral fins, but that's okay, I can live with that. So there we go, my experimental element of the pond is up and running, and about time. So just to finish off, just to summarise, I can turn the upflow on and off at will, or if, say for instance, EA for example bring out a new sieve in the future, I can add a sieve, take the upflow filter out, add the all singing all dancing sieve, and run the dirty water through the sieve. If I find that it gets clogged up too much with the dirty water, I'll switch over and use it as a polisher. All I've got to do now is automate it. All I've got to do now. So that's a bit more faffing. I'm really happy with that. Anyway, in the meantime, myself and Kat have chunted enough now. So in the meantime, get your jabs, keep pushing on, look after your family, stay safe. Thank you for watching.